Happy Thursday, everyone, and thanks for checking into WeatherBug. And meteorologist Todd Nelson with a look at your national coast-to-coast forecast. We keep an eye on Danny tracking across the central Atlantic. It is moving west toward the Caribbean, and we may see that in the Caribbean as we head into early next week, potentially even as a hurricane. But we'll keep an eye on that severe weather threat popping back up on Saturday. But in the wake of a pretty potent front here for August, we are cooler and drier across much of the nation. We'll show you that in a second. But this was a look at Tropical Storm Danny from early this morning in the central Atlantic. Again, sustained winds at 50 miles per hour, and you have to have sustained winds at 74 miles per hour to be considered a hurricane. And potentially late this week or at least early this weekend, the forecast calls for that hurricane status. And then, as I mentioned, early next week, tracking across the eastern Caribbean. And that's what we'll have to kind of pay attention to a little bit more as it runs over some of those land masses in the Caribbean. Chance of some strong thunderstorms potentially north of, say, the Carolinas. Virginia, though, D.C. under a marginal threat, back up into Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and even Binghamton, New York, in the eastern Great Lakes region. Tomorrow, a marginal threat over the front range of the Rockies and also to the central and southern plains, but a pretty vigorous area of low pressure will be tracking across southern Canada on Saturday, so that may help to touch off some late-day thunderstorms there. But you can see this area of low pressure tracking north towards the Hudson Bay, and again, in its wake, breezy, cool, drier weather, but then that leading edge of showers and storms will still help to produce some heavier downpours here and there. And as I mentioned, we'll be keeping an eye on that thunder threat across the far north on Saturday with maybe some heavier pockets of rain. Looks like the monsoons start to lift north again. Tucson, just east of Phoenix, some heavier pockets of rain, but it looks still very wet, or at least dry and warm in the western U.S. with some 80s showing up again there today in Billings and Denver, triple-digit heat in Phoenix, and then 88 in D.C.